Hello, one and all. Hello. How's this look? I'm very, I'm very big right here. um, let's dial that back a little bit so I'm not so large. Um, hello. Happy Sunday. As best of a happy Sunday as you can possibly have. Um, so this is my second stream ever on the YouTube channel. Um, Obviously, if you saw anything related to my first stream, I thought this would be like a weekly thing. But with the news of the murder of Alex Jeffrey Pretti, I, I'm not exactly sure what cadence to use when pronouncing his last name, but it really shocked me. I'm sure it shocked the nation as a whole, and so I felt it was important to just announce another stream and to just go live today. I won't be live for very long. I don't expect us to talk about much more than just this topic. Um, as I as I ease into regularly streaming, I will establish some kind of regular schedule, and um, yeah, things will be a little bit more um, established, more structured, and stuff like that. Um, Let me go ahead and before we really kick this off, I want to just check on my phone that audio sounds good and normal and stuff like that. So just a quick second. Yeah, you can't see the stars from this background. Um, I'm not on a black backdrop. I'm on stars, so I kind of want to change the backdrop for this before we get started. So give me just a second. We're using Wallpaper Simulator to do this. Let me go ahead and let me move this over to my other monitor. Let's see. I just want some like generic stars in the background. What is this one? No. And this is absolutely not important, but it also gives us the chance to let some people get into the stream, stuff like that. So I hope you had a nice Saturday, all things considered, without even without the news. Um, I worked yesterday. I had my 9 to 5. Things went well, for the most part. This one says customizable. Let's see what that means. That's nice. What makes it customizable? Vibrant contrast, color boost, moonlight. I guess that makes it. Okay, cool. My mouse can change stuff. This is not engaging whatsoever. We'll give it another like minute or so, just to kind of give people a chance to like come in. But I don't want to delay this for too much longer. How about this? This looks nice. How does that appear? That looks really cool. All right, we'll go with that. Just a nice little space backdrop for the stream. Yeah, we'll let that be. All right, we're gonna run with that. Let's go to the agenda. Obviously, I think we're going to react to several different angles of the video depicting the murder of Alex Jeffrey Pretti. I want to look for as many responses from the White House as possible. Um, if that includes Trump, if that includes J.D. Vance, Pam Bondi, uh, what's her name? Noam. What's her name? Who's the head of ICE? What's her name? Hold on. Head of ICE. It starts with an N. She's yeah, this lady. What's this lady's name? Noam. That sounds wrong in my mind. Kristi Noem. That's why. It's not her first name. It's her last name. Kristi Noem. I was like, Noam Chomsky. That's wrong. And then we'll kind of look at updates for just what's happening in Minneapolis. Like, they had a general strike on Friday, I believe, a statewide general labor strike, which is unprecedented in modern times. I don't think the state or like a state has had that happen in 70 years. And then obviously yesterday, ICE came out in full force and killed Alex Pretti. So I'm curious to know if stuff is happening right now as we speak on Sunday. So that's kind of like my projection for what we're going to do today. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into it. Let's see. Let me minimize myself just a little bit since I'm taking up a good amount of space here. So I'll place myself here. We need video. And I do apologize. Like, my day yesterday was so occupied that I didn't have time to prep much for this, but I don't think that's a terrible thing since I'll be learning a lot about kind of what's happened, and you can maybe see my genuine reaction and whatnot. The man killed by a U.S. Border Patrol officer in Minneapolis was a NICU nurse, family says. We'll come back to this. I do want to see that AP News article. There is a Wikipedia article of this. Wow, look at all this information. Wikipedia already has covered this extensively. This is long. We might use the Wikipedia article to like they have sources. Like, this analysis says it hyperlinks to just open carry law, and I'm sure other kinds of things. So we'll definitely use this as a resource, but I need the videos. Maybe it's on Twitter. We'll go here. Alex Pretti. Mark Kelly said something. Alex Pretti's last words. Don't touch her. Are you okay? Huh. I'm wondering where they got that from. I don't want to get too distracted from all these. Oh, there's a new angle. Alright, this is going to be one of the angles we look at here in a second. Alex Pretti video across the street. I don't think any of this is actually going to pull up what I'm looking for. How about, I know this isn't very invigorating right now watching, but unfortunately I wasn't able to really prepare for the stream. So if you bear with me, we'll get the different angles of the shooting ready here in a second, and then watch. We'll react in just a moment, and then I'll dive into like deeper analysis after looking at the White House response and whatnot.
Need faster internet than 5G?
No. Skip. All right, CNN. What do you have? It looks like they have a lot of different angles all at the same time here. Maybe CNN.
Federal immigration officers fatally shot a man Saturday in Minneapolis. He was an ICU nurse who worked at a local Veteran Affairs hospital.
Yes. I don't need all your... I just want the raw videos. And it is graphic. Like, if you are... If you are susceptible to being disgusted by graphic content, then this will be difficult. The video was removed on Reddit because of course it was. How do I do this? This is what I'll do. I'm going to go through my Twitter history on the sidebar here, on my side monitor, and I'll quickly grab all that stuff. So bear with me. Yeah, okay, so there's this one. Copy. How do I do this? Copy link. Okay. This is the video of the woman with the pink jacket that she captured, and then I just need the original video. There's this one as well. This is the video moments before Alex was shot. And then I just need the first one. Yeah, here's the first one. Okay. Copy that. Okay. All right, we're ready. Thank you for bearing with me. I know may not be the most engaging at the moment, but I promise we're ready. So I've seen only 4 angles of this shooting, maybe 3, but it looks like there is a new video here. Yeah, I haven't seen this angle, so we'll come back to that. We're gonna start with the original breaking video. It appears to have like broke initially around 9 o'clock. This posting is from Call to Activism. I just saw it on my timeline, but it sources to Jesus freaking Congress. And that was at 8:39 a.m. So potentially this happened around like 8 in the morning. And the context is that The person holding the camera is inside of a donut shop, enjoying coffee on a Saturday morning, coffee and donuts. And they see like 8, 9 potentially different ICE agents all swarming somebody on the street. So we're gonna watch that, and please be aware that this content is graphic.
They doing too much. They doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know.
Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Not again! Are you fucking kidding me? That guy's dead. Yo, we need people on site.
They doing too much, man, and they.
So, it's hard to extrapolate exactly what was happening and what led up to this moment. We will dive deeper into everything that happened beforehand and after the fact and different angles and whatnot. But I want to look at this video as the piece of media that broke when immediately after this happened. You have across the street in a red jacket a legal observer of ICE activity recording what they are doing here. I believe, based on the video angles we'll see in greater detail, that this this ICE agent in the blue hoodie reaches in at some point. Or no, I'm sorry. It's this fella with the big beige kind of. Yeah, he walks in at some point in the scuffle, reaches in because the victim was legally carrying a concealed weapon. He had a legal concealed carry permit. And he retrieves the victim's firearm, Alex's firearm. And then you can see it even here. It's very small in the frame of the video, but he now has it. And as he begins walking away, it is the exact moment you can see that one of these ICE agents begins just firing on Alex. Because, like, the moment he turns away, like, everyone jumps after hearing a loud gunshot.
Oh.
Yeah. And so now everyone's backing away. The legal observer, many of these ICE agents.
Shit! What the fuck?
They all back away.
They killed him? Did they?
And now Alex is motionless on the ground after just being murdered. There's no, in my mind, like, this is unapologetically not, there is no argument here for self-defense. Just moments before, you have five men all attacking Alex.
And they keep pushing people, you know?
Like, they're all shoving, pushing. There's kicks being thrown. You can see right here. Or no, that's Alex. That's Alex's foot. But they are swinging. You did see that swing. There's the wind-up right there. This is a gang, what's the word I'm looking for? They just all gang up on him, and it's a fight of potentially 5 people versus one individual. So to try to make the argument or claim that 5 unarmed people against one unarmed man, and that's not the case. All of them were armed. All of them are carrying, including Alex. But in this moment, no one has drawn their weapons. Like, it hasn't escalated to that point yet. Alex didn't escalate to firing on them. That hasn't happened. And so, for the ICE agent who fired on Alex to escalate to the point where he's like, I need to pull my weapon out because the 5 of us are incapable of de-escalating the situation or handling this aggressive altercation, to escalate that to I need to pull out my gun and shoot this person 10 times. There's more swinging. And there goes the first shot. There's one shot, and the rest come after a delay. For there to be a delay between the first shot, like, that's adrenaline at that point. It isn't, I am subduing this person. It is, I'm really frustrated by what's just happened, so I'm going to empty my clip. I can't logically reason what justification there was for emptying his entire clip on Alex.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
And you can see it going off here, too. Or was it... Yeah, because they both have guns. There's 2 guns. Well, at least there's 2 guns being pointed at Alex. I can see he's pulled his out, and then this person is emptying his clip.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a very clear shot right in that moment at the 23-second mark.
They killed.
It's I don't understand it. Like, I can't understand it. It's barbaric. Like, there is nothing to be explained or made sense of. There is no justification whatsoever. I want to move on to the other angles that we have here. I haven't seen this angle, and so I'm most interested in that. But we will quickly, before we do that, we will look at the moments that were caught on camera before all these men ended up swarming on Alex. Someone was in their car driving by the donut shop, and they saw Alex being interrogated by these ICE agents.
Things got buried. Yeah, unroll your windows. No, you're just right inside. Let's go around. Fuck off! Pieces of shit.
The entire video doesn't capture Alex speaking to ICE agents. Most of it is actually long after the recorder has driven past Alex. But what we do see, this video very clearly identifies Alex as the man that was shot by ICE. And I think that's really... I think it's great that someone saw Alex in the moments leading up to the shooting, because it made it easier to quickly identify him. I don't think this video, like, gives us anything kind of showing or depicting what they were talking about, or how this altercation kind of escalated. But even at this moment, you can see ICE agents starting to get really aggressive with Alex. They're pushing him away. And he's recording. He's recording his own interaction with ICE.
Go.
Who is this person?
Right.
It looks like there's maybe three, like two other people with Alex who may have been also just present that weren't ICE agents. Because ICE is very clearly wearing bulletproof protection and other kind of federal agent accessories. But we'll move on. I do want to see this angle. I don't know what this is about. In the video, you can see ICE agents tackling a man. Bystanders are standing there filming. The one thing agents hate most, because cameras mean they can't lie about what happened. And that is the reason why protesters who are attending anti-ICE gatherings are encouraged to record what you do. It isn't any kind of form of self-defense, but it is a form of community legal defense. Because when these situations come up, having those different angles give a clear picture of what clearly happened, and we are seeing consistently that it is ICE and federal agents who are escalating these situations. That won't bring peace to the victims and the victims' families by any means, but it will give them a legal grounds to stand on when victims' families escalate this to court. That is the intended purpose of community members in mass recording what they see when they are around ICE and federal agents. So remember that. Anyways, I want to watch this video, so let's go ahead and watch it. I'm not going to read the rest of this.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I was literally right here. I was standing here.
Watch out. Hey, this is done. Get the phone. This is done. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah, disturbing. So, I mean, this video wasn't, from the looks of it, related to Alex Pretti's murder. this was just a different interaction that happened. ICE agents took this person's phone, this woman's phone, and simply because she wasn't complying with their orders. It's not a justification. She has the legal right to observe and to record. That isn't exclusive against ICE. That is a privilege that is allotted to all American citizens in all public spaces. But we'll move on. Going back to the original video, as I said earlier, there was a woman in a red jacket, pink jacket, who was acting as a legal observer when Alex was murdered, and she shared her own perspective as well of his murder. And we're going to watch that now. And of all the videos, I need you to understand that this is the most disturbing. So again, if you have any sensitivity to graphic content like this, please look away.
Go. What the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly. Somebody call the ambulance! Somebody call the ambulance! Somebody needs to call the ambulance! Somebody call 911! I can't believe they just did that! Holy shit! Holy shit! Just get come on! Come on! Oh my god, you fucking people, man! You're fucking killing us! Why would you do that? Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe I'm seeing this! I can't believe I'm seeing this! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come here! Come on! Come here! It is.
I forget every time, because I have seen this video before. I forget every time that this dipshit fell over his goddamn body.
Come on, come on, come on, come on! I got that! Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe I'm seeing this! I can't believe I'm seeing this! Come on, come on, come on, come here, come on!
He fell on the fucking ice, and his disgusting fucking lard of a body fell on Alex after he'd already passed. The incompetence.
Come here. It is.
Anyways, the reason I know it's silly. The reason why I'm so enraged simply by what is essentially an accident, and that is this agent slipping on the ice and falling on Alex's body. All of it's enraging. However, in particular, I want to emphasize what it means to respect the dead. Alex at this point is gone. He is dead. We're going to get philosophical here for a moment, okay? And I'm struggling to find my words in my mouth. Like I'm struggling here, so forgive me. But people in their lives, during their life, when they are alive, have dreams, aspirations, things that they want to accomplish in their life. We are simply hamsters in that rolly cage thing. We're hamsters on treadmills throughout our lives. Our births really are not monumental or significant or make any giant change in the world in that moment. And there is no big story arc to our lives. There is no beginning, middle, and end. There is no rising conflict, peak conflict, or resolution, whatever, and then like a bow on the story of our lives. That doesn't happen in real life, like TV shows and movies and storybooks and whatnot. We do make sense of our own lives with stories, but truly, we are just pushing through life. And almost typically, when our lives come to an end, it is very unceremoniously. You can't really make much sense of it. That's life, and that's death. But regardless of what is essentially absurdity to existence, people persevere. People every day wake up and look at all the bullshit in their life. If it's at work, if it's in your personal lives, your relationships, whatever it is that makes life absurd, everyone on the planet collectively says, we will persevere. We will struggle. And we will persevere in spite of that struggle. And it is after people have passed on that we can look at them and say, this is what they did in their life. And the thing about the dead for me is that death comes unexpectedly. So if Alex were still alive right now, he would be persevering. He would be pushing. He would be living his life in the way that he always has. And so now that he's dead, nothing that his dreams, his aspirations, what he aspires for, that doesn't change in his death. The dead have dreams and aspirations and goals. And when they pass on, we as the living evaluate what it was that they dreamed and aspired for to achieve. And there are two things from this video that make me incredibly upset, and I'm getting emotional here. One, it's the fact that this dipshit ICE agent fell on his body. How dare you fall on his body? But most importantly, I think the greatest thing we can extrapolate from this video to tell us about Alex's character is in the moments right before. Right here. In this moment right here is the greatest demonstration of the kind of character that Alex Jeffrey Pretti had. This ICE agent pushed this person in the ice. Just pushed him. And Alex immediately turned to that person and said, "What are you doing? How dare you push that person?" And then he starts getting sprayed with pepper spray or whatever this is. He can't fight it off, and so instead he shields this person who's fallen. And now he's holding on to her. Or him. I can't tell. But he's refusing now at this point to be separated. We're in this together. I will hold on to you. And they all swarm on him. They swarm on him.
Oh, the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
And the rest of the video takes its course, you know. That moment demonstrates to me the quality of character that Alex had. This is disgusting. Shit, dude. Fuck. Shit. I didn't expect to get emotional like I did. So, we ask ourselves, if Alex were here, what would he be doing? He'd be doing that. Protecting. And it's in our best interests, as neighbors, as community members, to protect one another. If we want to honor the lives of those who have passed on, we take up the mantle of what they stood for. Ugh, sorry. Shit. I think I need like a 5. We're gonna toss it to just a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me step away for just a moment. I got a little charged, and but that's all right. It's okay. It's all right to get a little charged. We're gonna move on away from the videos, and we're just gonna look at some of the analysis that's come out since. In particular, I do want to take a look at the White House response. Anything from Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Pam Bondi, and Kristi Noem, people like that. And then we'll see if there's anything coming out of Minneapolis right now in this moment. And then we'll just call it a day. I've already been live for about an hour. I don't want to go for too much longer. So thanks for sticking around with me. And yeah. So AP News put out an article. I'm interested in reading it. So we'll go ahead and just kind of take a look at this. This is a picture of Alex. Looks like he was hiking. Oh, wait, hold on. The parents of the man killed by U.S. Border Patrol agent in Minneapolis say they struggled to get information from authorities about what happened. The family first learned of the shooting when AP News reporter Michael Biesecker called them. That sucks. That sucks when the press has to break the information to you. Family members say the man killed by a U.S. Border Patrol officer in Minneapolis on Saturday was an intensive care nurse at a VA hospital who cared deeply about people and was upset about President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown in his city. Yeah, no, it speaks to the quality of person that we saw in those videos. I'm not surprised to know that he's a nurse. Alex Jeffrey Pretti was an avid outdoorsman who enjoyed getting in adventures with Joel, his beloved Catahoula leopard dog, who also recently died. He worked for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and had participated in protests following the January 7th killing of Renee Good by an immigration and customs officer. He cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what has happened in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE. As millions of other people are upset, said Alex's father, Michael. He thought it was terrible, kidnapping children, just grabbing people off the street. He cared about those people, and he knew it was wrong, so he did participate in protests. Pretti was a U.S. citizen born in Illinois. Like Good, court records showed he had no criminal record, and his family said he had never had any interactions with law enforcement beyond a handful of traffic tickets. His parents told him to be careful while protesting. We had this discussion with him 2 weeks ago or so, that go ahead and protest, but do not engage, do not do anything stupid, basically. And he said he knows that. He knew that. Fucking nasty ass over here. The Department of Homeland Security said the man was shot after he approached Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. Officials did not specify if Pretti brandished the gun. In bystander videos of the shooting that emerged soon after, Pretti is seen with a phone in his hand, but none appears to show him with a visible weapon. Family members said Pretti owned a handgun and had a permit to carry a concealed handgun in Minnesota. They said they had never known him to carry it. Stop. We're going to move on. I will encourage you yourself to read the rest of this AP article, because it does dive into how the family struggled to figure out what happened, his history a bit with protesting, and the quality of person that he was. I'd like to move on myself, though. Like, I feel like if I read this, I'll get emotional again, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to do that in my own time. Let's use the Wikipedia here. I want to look at the White House and its staff's response to kind of what happened. Tim Walz. We can look at Tim Walz. I feel like almost everybody, not even just the people of Minnesota, but like so many people across the country are frustrated with Tim Walz. His refusal to like even call upon the National Guard just to defend citizens of Minneapolis and the Twin Cities. Nothing's being done. Consistently, the stance by Walz and echoed by Democrats is just keep asking for federal agents to stop. Please, would you please stop shooting people? Please, I'm asking nicely. Nothing's going to change. It needs to escalate. If ICE agents are going to be prevented from murdering American citizens, it has to be met with force. And something will break. If it's not met by resistance by the state National Guard, it will be met by resistance by the armed population. I think JFK famously said that if what is it? Hold on, let me look up the quote. JFK, violent revolution or something, or violent resistance. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Is it not resistance? Those who make peaceful resistance impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. It's something to that sentiment. Something will break. Simply asking federal agents and ICE and the White House, please stop killing people when they clearly are demonstrating to you that they hold the position of, we do not care if our agents engage in murder. We will justify it. We will manufacture consent to commit murder. Nothing will change at this point. The administration has demonstrated to you what they will do. So, let me just look it up. Trump on Alex Pretti. I need anything. White House on Alex Pretti. We'll look at this video.
Yes.
All right, so it's Christy Nome.
The White House has labeled the man who was killed in Minnesota as a domestic terrorist. Is that something you agree with? And have you seen any evidence?
When you perpetuate violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism.
Shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt. He had his cell phone camera. That's all we saw. And they're going to be like, oh, you didn't see the whole video. Well, in the moments leading up to the video, what we saw was a man with his cell phone camera.
Individual who came with weapons and ammunition to...
You're the MAGA Republican White House. When did we stop advocating for American citizens to be armed? He had a legal concealed carry permit. That's awesome. That's awesome for Republicans. Yeah, we love fucking guns. He didn't pull it out. He didn't use it. He had his cell phone.
Stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts.
Where's the evidence of
That's the facts.
his ideology?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Is this like a... Alright, this is like some kind of cut.
So today, federal agents beat and then shot multiple times and killed 37-year-old Alex Jeffrey Pretti, a U.S. citizen, a Minneapolis resident, and a VA nurse. Eyewitness video shows once again reckless, violent, and dangerous federal agents taking the life of a Minnesotan. And rather than following standard law enforcement practice, which is focused on public safety and de-escalation, they have killed another person. And the Trump administration has already called Alex Pretti a domestic terrorist. He was a nurse.
I need you to understand, because it doesn't get stated enough, that at this point, any kind of labels that the federal government gives to anybody, terrorist, hero, whatever, it's all propaganda. It always has been. And I need you to understand that that's what that is. He's a fucking VA nurse who attempted to help somebody who was being attacked by ICE agents. It escalated, and as a result, he died. And in his death, it's only in his death that they are labeling him a domestic terrorist. We aren't finding domestic terrorists while they're alive. We're finding them after we've killed them.
And our heartfelt condolences to his family and to...
It's propaganda, is what I'm getting at. They're rewriting the narrative. That's the government we exist under. They rewrite the narrative. Everything you've ever heard from the fucking government, especially in this moment, should be recontextualizing everything you've ever learned in your goddamn life about America. It sucks. If you're having to come to this revelation, we accept you. We love you. You're special. Fucking. But, it's sad. It makes me incredibly sad that, like, so many Americans are having this realization of, like, oh, we are propagandized as hell. That's okay. It's okay. Take it in. Accept it. Let it transform you. Radicalize you. I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating for the camera. In Minecraft.
His friends. And all Americans should be outraged at this unaccountable, violent federal force which is operating with impunity in our city. And you need to know, America, that if it can happen here, it can happen in your community too. So we gather here to say, first, I want to say to the president, you must stop Operation Metro Surge immediately and send these ICE agents home so our communities can be safe. Second, it is essential that trusted, impartial state investigators at the BCA are allowed to fully investigate what happened here today. Third, I urge my neighbors to express our grief and outrage at this killing and at the federal invasion of our cities peacefully and with the love that we showed yesterday when so many thousands of us showed up in support of our community. And finally, we must have our Republicans in Congress, they must join with us to condemn this violent and unfettered violent abuse of power and to stop it. And they can do that by refusing to fund this agency so long as it continues to kill and terrorize Americans. That is what Senator Klobuchar and I will be working on in the United States Senate. And I just want to close by thanking so much the local law enforcement and fire departments, not only here in Minneapolis, but all across the state that have been doing everything that they could, everything that you can to keep our cities safe. I once worked in City Hall, and I know what it's like, and I am so grateful for their relentless work to keep our communities safe.
Thank you, Representative McCollum. You know, the day after tens of thousands of Minnesotans showed the world how to stand up peacefully against this administration's cruelty, lawlessness, and unacceptable occupation, and demand that ICE leave our state and end this federal invasion, the world is watching yet again as one of Donald Trump's federal agents have shot and killed another United States citizen in broad daylight in the middle of the street. First, we lost Renee.
They're not going to do shit. It's just like, we protested the day before. We did it. We did it. Why did you guys kill someone again? Shame. Shame on you. We protested. Our citizens protested. And you killed them? Shame. They're not going to do anything. It's just like a... Like, look at the guy way over there. Like, with his head down and, like, the fucking... It looks like they're all in timeout. Like, explain yourselves. And they're like... It's all long faces. Of, like... Oh, this is sad times. We can't do anything. It's sad times. And we're going to tell you why it's sad times and why we can't do anything.
Cole Good. And now Alex Jeffrey Pretti. A 37-year-old man, a Minnesotan, an ICU nurse, a resident looking out for his neighbors as Minnesotans always do. And I do want to pause and offer my deepest sympathy and profound condolences to Mr. Pretti's family and friends. I am so sorry for your unimaginable loss. And we are once again now being asked to deny what we saw with our own eyes. We watched the videos of a masked federal agent shooting Alex in the back multiple times while he was pinned down by more than 6 other masked federal agents. And once again, DHS has come out with a predetermined narrative that contradicts everything we saw with our own eyes.
Yes, I agree with you. It is the most frustrating part about just kind of modern politics in general. The Trump White House is the greatest offender for it, of like, there is objective, definitive evidence in video form. Video form is now, like, at this point, the most objective storyteller or demonstration of what occurred somewhere, because it's so easy to generate images to contradict stuff. And that being said, we still have tools to detect AI images that have been generated, but like in particular, video is so objective at the moment. And so for there to be an administration that is looking at what is essentially objective proof of something and saying, no, that didn't happen. You're wrong. You're lying. What you saw is false. Ignore what you see. Ignore what you hear. 1984. Yeah. It's frustrating. However, I had a point here. What was I going to say? Hold on. Let's go back.
Masked federal agents. And once again, DHS has come out with a predetermined narrative that contradicts everything we saw with our own eyes. 2 37-year-old Minnesotans are now dead. A poet and a nurse. For what?
The thought I had is half-baked, and I'm not going to say it. I was going to say it, but like it's half-baked, and I feel like I'll sound like an idiot if I do. So, we'll move on. I'm trying to think, like there was a logical flow behind what I wanted to say. I don't know. Maybe it's just the lack of the lack of initiative to do anything from Democrats that frustrates me. It's like a very blatant lie is being made by the administration, the Trump administration, and then Democrats collectively are being like, you're wrong. And then just kind of ending it at that. It's this aspiration to preserve decorum. It's like, okay, like we can bullshit the American public, but like let's do it by smearing the lines of what is true and false. Let's not just objectively say false statements that I think Democrats take issue with. It's like J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance tries to engage in this like traditional political game of like, let's smear what is true and false, because he himself doesn't blatantly want to just plainly state falsehoods. And I think that's what Democrats take issue with the Trump administration mostly for. It's not this traditional game of like political distraction, like how magicians will like have you pay attention to what's immediately in front of you while they do the magic, like in the background. Like you're not doing this tablecloth reveal of politics, but you're just blatantly like saying, I have an apple in my hand and it's clearly an orange, instead of like the magic trick of it or whatever. It's early. I'm a little tired from my last night, and I needed to do this immediately. So my allegories and my comparisons and whatnot may not be perfectly refined, but let's move on.
We cannot lose any more lives.
All right, I am tired with you. I could care less about the Democrats here. Is Kristi Noem the only person that responded to this? Did no one else in the administration talk about this?
These eyes need a rest.
God damn it. I need to get some ad blocker. We'll quickly skim through this and see what it has.
Wake of this shooting, President trying to piece together a Minneapolis mayor without prepares for weeks for the White House.
This is just a VO or a VO.
Can also come to try a mistake.
It's just a VO. Video contradicts DHS statement.
For those waking up.
And this is just a
MS Now is them, Lee. However, those protests get with respect to their interactions with.
We will come back to this actually, because I do want to see on the ground. Yeah, this is 3 hours ago. This is great. We'll come back to this because I want to see what's happening on the ground. We might be able to go to a live. But let's see. JD Vance on Alex Pretti. Vance hasn't said anything. Washington Post is live right now. Washington Post, leave me alone. I'm just trying to read, dog. It doesn't look like JD Vance talked about anything. Let's do the Christie Gnome. I want to see that in a little more. Christie Gnome. Did Pam Bondi say anything actually? Forbes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. There are two different things that I'd like to discuss with you tonight. The first one being a storm that is barreling down on our country and will be impacting approximately 250 million Americans in 40 different states. We've been working together here at the FEMA headquarters and have opened our National Response Coordination Center and are working with local and state authorities to make sure that we're getting individuals and communities pre-deployed resources that they may need and also preparing them for the upcoming days, which will significantly impact them and their citizens. The Trump administration and FEMA are working closely with them to get them information, to get them resources, and to help them be prepared and well equipped for the road ahead as we go through this next week. But before I take any questions and give more details on the storm and its impact, I do want to address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis.
If you are calling it tragic, he's not a domestic terrorist. If you are providing any degree of sympathy for the loss of life, he's not a criminal. He's not a domestic terrorist. You are conceding to the idea that this is tragic. As a result of that, you have no grounds to stand on when you call him a fucking terrorist.
Today that unfolded on the streets. It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties.
Like no one called the death of fucking Osama bin Laden tragic. It was a victory. We killed a terrorist. So, in this situation, if you successfully killed a terrorist, you would not call it tragic.
To keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country. At 9:05 a.m. Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations in Minneapolis against an illegal alien whose criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently.
I do want to question. I want to question the definition of what it means to be armed. What? How do I look this up? How do I Google this? Because I could Google it for AI, but I don't want an AI response. Legal definition of armed. Not armed conflict, just armed. Armed individual. The term armed refers to being equipped with weapons for offense or defense. This includes having a weapon readily accessible for use. Okay, that does fit the legal definition. Okay. I was going to question it. I'm not legal counsel. I'm not familiar with it, but her terminology of calling him armed, in my mind, says he had it in his hands. Instead, it just means it's on his person.
Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. About hundreds of...
It doesn't. It doesn't do that. He had a legal carry permit. Concealed carry permit. Just because he had it on his person didn't mean there was... You can extrapolate anything to the intent of what he wanted to do. Again, this is a Republican administration. I thought we loved guns.
Protesters then showed up at the scene. They began to obstruct and to assault law enforcement officers. We saw objects being thrown at them, including ice and other objects. And a rampant assault began, and even an HSI officer agent's finger was bitten off.
What?
Including ice and other objects. And a rampant assault began, and even an HSI officer agent's finger was bitten off.
The fuck? I didn't hear about that. HHS? Finger bitten off? She said HHS, right? ICE agent's finger bit off. The fuck? Why is it always the Hindustan? Yahoo News Canada. A Minneapolis protester allegedly bit off a Homeland Security agent's finger on Saturday, the same day a Border Patrol officer agent shot a ICU nurse, Alex Pretti. Shared graphic photos on X showing the officer's bleeding finger alongside the severed portion preserved in a jar. Hold on. Hold on. I'm taking this to the side. I want to see this. In Minneapolis, what I'm looking at is a tweet by Trisha McLaughlin. In Minneapolis, these rioters attacked our law enforcement officer, and one of them bit off our HSI officer's finger. He will lose his finger. Holy shit! They're not lying! Well, who did it? They've got... Ooh, they do have the piece of the thing in a jar. There are 2 people. So it's 4 photos. One is of the finger not there. There's another photo of a jar with what looks like a finger in it. And then there are 2 people clearly in some kind of custody. But like, I don't know who did it. I'm not gonna put that on stream. I can't speak to like the events that unfolded when this supposed like finger biting offing happened, but it appears to have happened. That's fucking wild. Yeah, I'd say find that yourself. Okay, back to the original thing. Did Pam Bondi say anything? Hold on. Pam Bondi. Alex Pretti. I'm starting to get tired. And we have only like another 30 minutes before I'm done, so we won't go for much longer. What did I have on the agenda? Yes, we're gonna go to Minneapolis here in a second. I think we'll do that right now, actually, because like I don't see. Yeah, we're gonna move on.
did everything by the book. Joining us now from Minneapolis is MS Now reporter David Noriega. David, thank you for joining us so early.
Thank you, David.
This morning, what are you anticipating today?
We appreciate the journalists on the floor. We appreciate them.
Hey, the day after the killing of
TurboTax locations are now.
Shut up. Blah blah blah.
Ready. Good morning, guys. So the big question is, to what extent will we see big protest mobilizations in the immediate fallout of this incident? One crucial factor to consider there is the fact that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has deployed the National Guard to sort of preemptively prevent things from getting out of hand. It is possible that that will have a measurable effect on how many people come out and on how confrontational those protests get with respect to their interactions with federal law enforcement. In the past, here in Minnesota, as well as in other cities where we've seen these kinds of indiscriminate immigration, violent often immigration raids and protests against them, often we see scuffles, violent interactions, violent reactions.
I need you. I'm going to give you a brief insight to kind of how cold it is over there right now. Typically, like almost religiously, whenever a reporter does a live shot, they will have their sticks on hand. But he clearly doesn't. He has his hands in his pockets. Like, they want to kind of present this sense of, like, professionalism, whatever that means to you, but like typically with like reporters and on-camera personalities, like they want to avoid stuff like this as much as possible, to present like an air of authority as being news givers. The fact that he's wearing a lavalier mic, he's got the beanie, his hands are in his pockets, that's how cold it is. It's very, very cold. I know for most of the country, you guys would be like, yeah, of course it's cold. Of course they're doing this, Sam. I live in Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix for well over 20 years now of my life. So, context for the West Coasters, I suppose.
Actions from federal law enforcement to often peacefully assembled protesters. Whether or not we see that today, I think, depends on the extent of the deployment of the National Guard and kind of how they tactically approach this situation. The next thing that we're going to be paying close attention to is the aftermath of the case, the legal case, and its handling. Local and state authorities have already filed suit against the...
Love seeing the One Piece flag. Oh, I'm in the way. Here, let me move myself. Got the One Piece flag over there. It's quiet. The One Piece flag, its presence at like everything, it continues to be quiet. But anyways, irrelevant, highly irrelevant, even a little inappropriate on my behalf. So I'm sorry.
The federal government asserting that the federal government has mishandled the evidence in this case in a way that Attorney General Keith Ellison described in a court filing as astonishing. They said that they prevented local authorities who have jurisdiction to criminally investigate this case, physically prevented them from arriving at the scene, setting up a perimeter, gathering evidence. They have accused them of improperly removing evidence from the scene, confiscating cell phones, improperly detaining people who were witnesses.
That was the craziest part to me about the whole just aftermath of Alex Pretti's murder, was that they detained people. They detained people who were witnesses. They're like, you saw us commit murder, you're going to jail.
The federal judge has already issued an...
all of ACE, all of DHS, all of it. They're a gang. It's a gang, it's a cult, it's a clan.
Order instructing the federal government to not destroy or otherwise tamper with any additional evidence in this case. This is, of course, related to what you guys pointed out, which is the fact that the highly unusual fact that DHS is going to be investigating this case internally rather than having an outside criminal investigative agency investigate what happened, whether at the federal or the state or local level. I've been talking to former DHS officials, career people, not political people who have worked in Republican and Democratic administrations, and they say say that specific fact, the mishandling of evidence and the blocking of other criminal authorities from investigating these cases is highly unusual. It's one of many things about this situation that is highly unusual, guys.
MS Now's again, they're protecting one another. Like they are protecting their own, which is ICE. They don't want the police, the FBI, whoever. They don't want other criminal organizations investigating them and taking them to jail. It's clear from the video when they shot him and then all collectively backed up like, oh, we need to distance ourselves from the scene of a crime. That's what people do when they commit crimes. That's not what law enforcement does when they subdue a threat.
David Noriega in Minneapolis, thank you very much for that report. Let's bring in Michelle Norris, MS Now.
All right, I don't need correspondence. It's interesting to me that, like, even in the Google results here, like, of all people, it's apparently Mark Kelly that I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing a, what is the word? God, I hate the fact that English is my second language. And I forgot my first one because I frequently struggle to find my own words. How do I say the words? I can't. I'm starting to put, like, brain fart this morning. That might just be about it from me. I truly am saddened. I hope Liam is okay. Let's quickly look that up. Liam Ramos. A protest broke out Saturday at the ICE-run South Texas Detention Complex in Dilley, where 5-year-old Liam Ramos is being detained. How brave. Are they wearing clothing specifically? Like, it's all greens, blues, and reds. After guards abruptly ordered attorneys to leave while detainees, many of them children... Oh, let me move myself here. Poured into open areas of this facility chanting Libertad or freedom, according to an immigration attorney who witnessed the event. Immigration attorney Eric Lee said he was at the Dilley facility for a confidential visit with clients, an immigrant family of 6, including 5 children, when guards began shouting for everyone in the waiting area to leave, citing what they described as an incident. As the Michigan-based attorney walked to his car, he said he heard what sounded like hundreds of children shouting with voices he described as high-pitched and urgent. He said he could see children streaming from dormitory areas behind a chain-link fence and chanting Libertad. Lee said clients he later spoke with told him the protest was triggered by concern over the treatment of Liam Conejo Ramos, a 5-year-old who was taken into custody with his father in Minnesota earlier this week.
I've just left the Dilley Family Detention Center, and I've spoken to a number of the people who are presently in the facility and can provide a bit more information. Apparently, this demonstration presently comprises of about 80% of the detained population. Over 1,000 people, I am told by people at the facility, are participating presently in the protest. Guards are trying to physically block people from protesting, from joining the protest. They have closed off a gate between two separate parts of the facility to prevent another section of the detention center from joining the protest. Up along the highway and on the roads, you can still see ICE, CBP, and county sheriff's vehicles traveling to this. I haven't tried to go back in because they told me that my attorney-client visit that was scheduled for today has been canceled and that I'm not allowed to go back into the facility to speak to them. Apparently, the protest was initiated over the treatment of the 5-year-old who is still at the facility, I am told, from Minneapolis, and that the detainees got word of the size of the demonstration in Minneapolis on Friday somehow because the day after the Renee Good shooting, ICE shut off the internet at the facility without explanation. Now we know the reason why. When the detainees today and yet in recent days found out about the protest on the general strike in Minneapolis on Friday, they apparently decided that they wanted to join the protest. They were shouting Libertad, they were shouting let us out, and this is still an ongoing situation. So the local news in San Antonio, please get down to Dilley. Please start reporting on this. There's potential police crackdown taking place. I can't. All I know is that there are a lot of people protesting and a lot of people who are a lot of police and ICE vehicles rushing to the area. Hopefully, there's not some type of violent confrontation, but that is the situation here at Dilley.
Interesting. Is the crackdown... Hold on. There's no terminology on that. Excuse me. Interesting. I mean, it's crazy to me. The guards are just as tough as the guards at the adult facilities. This is not a place that you would want to have your child be for even 15 minutes. I don't know how to process some of this, man. I'm glad that the detention center that Liam is being held at has been identified. I really hope he hasn't been separated from his family, but it sounds like that's the case, as this seems to be a detention center specifically for children. Maybe not. We'll leave it at that. I feel like I no longer have the energy or the ability to properly absorb the information I'm being given. Even though my curiosity is high and I do want to learn more, but I think it's time I took a break, feed myself, and get ready for other stuff I need to do today. So we're gonna call it here. Thank you so much for joining me, if you did, to kind of just react to what's going on in the country and to see my reaction to it all. Again, I think to just drive home, the most important part about all of this is to protect one another, to protect your neighbors. It's clear to me that was what Alex wanted to do in the moments leading up to his death, was just to protect another person that he saw in need in his community. I think ICE responded so aggressively to the Minneapolis community yesterday, in large part because they saw how dramatic the protest on Friday was to close down the entire state during their general labor protest. I fully believe that ICE, DHS, I think they're scared. And I really hope that I hope they back down. But just because I hope for them to back down does not mean that that the American public should not be rallying right now in this moment. We should not be slowing down. We should not be breathing, like taking a moment to breathe. We need to keep up the pressure in support of one another, and put the fear of God in the White House, the administration, in Donald Trump, in J.D. Vance, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem. There needs to be a genuine threat of retaliation. I think the time for peaceful requests by Democrats and from law enforcement, I think that's behind us at this point. And if Democrats, if Tim Walz, if other governors are not willing to threaten the well-being of ICE agents, of DHS, I do not think that they will stop murdering innocent American citizens. So continue to record any interactions you see with ICE. On that note, actually, we are not moving on. There is a vital second thing I do need to show you, actually, and that is how to report an ICE presence in your neighborhood when you see it. I only live in Phoenix, Arizona. I do not live anywhere else, but your community should have some kind of hotline that you can call to report ICE agents. And that hotline should absolutely then be capable of mass communicating to community members where those ICE agents are located. It is vital that the community, whoever is available, responds to that call by physically going and being present around ICE agents. So I'm going to share the Phoenix hotline with you all. Phoenix report ICE activity hotline or whatever. This is wrong. Don't look at that. We want the... And of course, Google's not going to do it. Where did I get this from? Hold on. Stand by. We will establish where to report ICE before moving on. It was... Oh gosh, where did I get this image? Because I can't just like do that. I need to... is it the Borderlands Initiative? Who is it? No. The Borderlands Initiative trained me. Dang it. Where is it? What if I just look up the phone number? Hold on. I'm going to do this on my phone. That way we don't get like weird results. 480. Okay. Yes. Okay, we're going to go here to the Phoenix Legal Action Network. Phoenix Legal Action Network. All right. Let me minimize myself. Put myself like right there. All right. We are. What is this? Know Your Rights resources? It's Know Your Rights resources. Where is it? Maybe this? Oh, come on. I have the URL on my phone. Where is it? We will do here. ICE in your neighborhood, Phoenix. I'm just looking for this image on my phone. Here. There we go. Jesus. This is what you want. Okay. If you live in Phoenix, Arizona, and you see ICE activity anywhere, you call, God damn it, that number at the top, 480-506-7437. If you're in Tucson, 520-221-4077. Flagstaff, 928-395-6330. Anywhere else, it's 520-607-0507. Report it. The Arizona community as a whole has these hotlines that you can call, report ICE activity. They will then send that information about your call to community volunteers who are near your area, and after seeing this emergency will come to your location to legally observe and provide support for you in that emergency. And then not just for you, but anyone else who needs it while ICE is present. Okay? Cool. I'm hungry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for watching the stream, watching the VOD after the fact, no matter what. I appreciate your support. I'm hoping to go live regularly on Thursdays. I think going live on Thursday was great, and then using Friday to edit together some kind of highlights compilation was good and put it on YouTube. So I think that's what I'm going to commit to regularly. If there's any opportunity during like crazy breaking news, such as Alex's passing, I'll try to regularly, as quickly as possible, fit in another live stream. But I think for the time being, I really enjoy just maybe Thursdays for the live stream, and then hopefully compilation of that stream coming out Friday or Saturday. Again, like I said earlier, rest in peace and in power to Alex Jeffrey Pretti. Your bravery can't be understated, or can't be overstated, rather. The hell. Please remember to mourn and honor the dead, what they stood for in their life, and to take up the mantle of what they have wanted to accomplish while they were alive. I think Alex felt that way about Renee Nicole Good, and now I think we must all do the same for Alex, to try to stand for something greater than ourselves. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here again. Please take care of yourselves and be safe.